Hello and a big warm welcome to Straight4ward Science. In today's video we are going to be discussing specialised cells. This video is key for anyone sitting a GCSE Science Edexcel exam next summer. Specialised cells comes under topic 1 of your biology specification. Let's begin. Before we think about cells and what a specialised cell is, I want us to think about a job a person might do. For example, I am a teacher, and to become a teacher I had to achieve some goals. So to become a teacher I had a favourite subject at school, which was of course science. I achieved good grades at school. I then went on to do my undergraduate degree. I then completed my GCSE degree and then completed my NQT year, thus making me a qualified science teacher. Cells are very similar to this in the sense that they need to have a certain set of skills to be good at their job. And these skills are called adaptations. So just to reiterate, an adaptation means to become better suited to a certain job or environment. And this is what specialised cells are. Specialised cells are adapted to be the best at their job. So specialised cells have certain functions and features to allow them to conduct their job really well. So for your exam, you need to know about 3 specialised cells in depth, and we are going to discuss those 3 cells right now. The first cell we are going to discuss is the sperm cell. The sperm cell is involved in fertilisation. It also looks like a little tadpole, almost. The sperm cell has some key features that you need to know about for your exam. It has a tail, it has mitochondria, it has something called a haploid nucleus and an acrosome. We are going to talk about how these key organelles, these key features, make a sperm cell specialised. So a sperm cell has a tail to swim to get to the egg. It has a haploid nucleus, which means it contains half of the DNA. Haploid begins with a H and an A, and half also begins with a H and an A. That's how I remember that haploid means half. So if it contains half the DNA, it means it contains 23 chromosomes. The sperm cell has a lot of mitochondria, and this is to provide energy to allow it to swim and outcompete other sperm cells. And lastly, it has an acrosome. Now this acrosome is really important for the sperm cell to get through the protective layer of the egg cell. The sperm cells are found in the testes, and to summarise, its job is to carry genetic information and fertilise the egg cell. So moving on to what our egg cell would look like. Our egg cell is circular in structure and it looks a little bit like this. It has 3 organelles or features that you need to know about for your exam. The first organelle is the cytoplasm. Now the egg cell cytoplasm contains all of the necessary nutrients for an embryo. That's after fertilisation. It also has a haploid nucleus, which is exactly the same as our sperm cell. It contains 23 chromosomes. The reason the egg cell and the sperm cell both have haploid nuclei is because once they fuse together during fertilisation, it creates something called a diploid nucleus, which means the nucleus contains 46 chromosomes. And lastly, the egg cell has this kind of cell membrane which changes after fertilisation. And this change means that the cell membrane becomes harder. So no other sperm cells can come and fertilise the egg. The egg cells are found in the ovaries. And to summarise, the egg cell's job is also to carry genetic information. So it's exactly the same as the sperm cell, just one's found in females and one is found in males. The last cell that you need to know about for your GCSE exam is something called a ciliated epithelial cell. Now with the ciliated epithelial cell, you only really need to know about one organelle or function in depth, and that are these little kind of whiskers coming off my cell, and these whiskers are called cilia. And these cilia are hair-like structures. Now, how I imagine what the cilia look like is I look at my hands and wiggle my fingers, and that's what the cilia look like in a ciliated epithelium cell. Now, the job of these cilia is to sweep any pathogens, any baddies, out of our body. So it's almost like a little brush. Ciliated epithelial cells are found in our trachea, our windpipe, and it sweeps the mucus. Mucus is just a fancy word for phlegm and dirt out of our throat. So it sweeps the mucus, which have trapped pathogens inside of it, out of our throat, so we don't end up poorly. We have now covered the 3 cells that you were expected to know about for your GCSE exams. A big well done to you. That's all for today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you next time.